Hello guys, welcome back, and yes, today we're gonna be talking about Fate Remnant Collide. So yeah, let us begin, ladies and gents. So we would currently see, not Izuka, I meant Rex, and the rest of Team Wrath, and not only that, wait for a second. Sorry about that, daddies. Anyway, continuing on, as we start to see, Rex Goodwitch, and the rest of his team. Sorry about that, anyway, continuing, as we currently see the rest of Team Wrath, but not only that, Team RWBY, as one of them would say this, specifically our girl Weiss. So, Rex, mind telling me what was your semblance? Because that was definitely, as one of them specifically, Blake would say this. Yeah, I never thought that your semblance would be, well, that. As one of them specifically, Harmony would say this. Yeah, and you're basically our teammate. You didn't really need to hide it. I mean, we're teammates and stuff. I mean, I'm so pissed. She would say, as Tina would say this. Calm down, Harmony. It's not really nice to do that. As she would say this. Shut it. Besides, we need to work with each other, and we don't need to do with this. I'm just so pissed, she would say. As after saying that is, Rex would say this. Right, alright. Fine. I'll have to tell you, but first, I need all of you to be quiet about it. Got it? As all of them would agree. Except for two. Specifically, both, RWBY and Yang, because they already know about it. As Yang would say this. Yeah. We got it, she would say. As one of them would say this. Why do you sound like, specifically, not Tina, I meant Harmony. As he would say this. Oh, because they already know, he would say. As one of them specifically, Weiss would say, wait, what? She would say, as he would say this. Well, we are childhood friends, so... And I accidentally showed them once. As he would laugh a little bit, as she would say this. Okay, but... Still, what the heck is your semblance anyway? It was... Just, what is it? She would say. As he would say this. Fine. My semblance is called Grand Order, he would say. As one of them would say this. Grand Order? Specifically our girl Tina, as he would say this. Yes. Grand Order. It allows me to summon these beings known as heroic spirits. They're basically summons. Well, summons that are completely overpowered to say the least. And trust me, you do not want to mess with them. I'm just saying it because they're master. But it doesn't mean that I'm being prideful or anything. It's merely just the truth, he would say. As after saying that, one of them would say this. Specifically, our boy Walter. Whoa. Hold her right there. First of all, that's certainly quite the description. And not only that, partner. You're saying that these are world-ending? As he would say this. Essentially, yes. Or at least a select few. And let's just say they're quite the powerful bunch. If you don't mind, guys, can you show yourselves? He would say. As after saying so, all of his heroic spirits that he gotten up to this point are summoned. As they would show off. As one of his servants would be revealed. As he would say this. Hello there, my master's friends, he would say. As he would show off his, in his masked form. If you want to search him, search up Siegfried's, masked form, or, first or second ascension. Imagine him in his, I think maybe in his, let me just check. Okay, imagine Siegfried in his, In this form, his final ascension, or should I say his third stage ascension, but with the mask or the mask of his his first ascension basically on, as it would be shifting and changing, removing his mask basically, almost similar to Mordred during in Fate Apocrypha. As after it basically shifted, he would say this: "Nice to meet you. My name is Saber, the Saber of Crimson. It's nice to finally meet you all," he would say. As one of them would say this: "Whoa, nice to meet you," said, a somewhat, excited, a somewhat excited, like, Ruby. As she would be surprised, saying, "Whoa, nice to meet you. Whoa, never seen your weapon before. What is it like?" she would say. As he would say this: "Calm down, please." As another person would, appear, being that of our girl, Ibuki Doji, also known as Saber of Ebony. As she would say this: "Oh ho ho. It's nice to finally meet you all," she would say, as she would show off her tail and her, horns. As one of them specifically, Weiss would say, "When the, hello there, are you, Faunus?" she would say, as Blake would say this: "Well, if she is a Faunus, then why does she have two traits?" And as she would say this: "Oh, oh, oh. I'm sorry, but unfortunately I'm not a Faunus. In fact, I'm more like something of a monster," she would say. As she would flick her, somewhat monstrous tongue, or at least her snake-like tongue. As one of them would say this: "Oh my god, what the fuck?" said, a surprise, Harmony. As she would say this: "Oh, that isn't nice," she would say. As another person would basically appear, being that of Oda Nobunaga. As she would say this: "Ha ha 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 ha," she would say, as everybody would be surprised by her entrance, being that of basically appearing in red flames, as several, spirals would basically appear out of nowhere. As she would say this: "Now bow down! The Demon King of the Sixth Heaven has arrived," she would say, as one of them specifically Emiya Alter would say this: "Please calm down, Archer of Crimson. I think it's better not to try and scare our master's friends," he would say, as she would say this. "Oh, sorry, I was just a bit excited," she would say, as one of them would say this. Hello there," said, a somewhat, terrified Tina, as she would say this: "Hey, you don't need to be scared or anything. I was just, trying to make an entrance," she would say. Anyway, nice to meet you. The name's, Archer of Crimson. This is Archer of Ebony," she would say, as he would say this. "With pleasure. But you can call me Emiya for sakes." As after saying that, one of them would say this: "Huh. So that was not your real name? Wait, does that mean they're..." As Sigurd would say this: "Yes, we're just hiding our true names. I prefer to be called Saber of Crimson. That's all you can say to me, at least." As one of them would say this: "Ah, I see. So basically code names?" said a surprised, specifically a surprised Weiss, as he would say this. "Yes, that's quite the description, to say the least," he would say, as other few people would arrive, being that of... As three people would appear, being that of Thrud, Hilder, or Linda, also known as, Lancer of Crimson, or Valkyrie, as it's, they're basically just one servant, essentially. As they would say this: "Nice to meet you. We are Lancer of Crimson," they would say in unison. As one of them would say this: "Wait. So, you're basically... all three of you are called Lancer of Crimson, said a somewhat, dumbfounded, what's her name? Yeah, Harmony, as they would say this. Essentially, yes, they would say in unison. We are basically manufactured as that. They would say in unison once again. As one of them specifically, our girl Weiss would say, wait, so are you saying that you're, as she would say this, specifically Linda, yes, we're essentially, manufactured humans. Or should I say, wait for a second. We are merely, manufactured after the originals, she would say. As one of them would say this. So you're basically copies of the originals. That would, imply that you're not the originals. As all of them would say this. Correct. But either way, as they would be interrupted by another sound. Specifically the sound of, slashes. Or more specifically, more like the sound of like screeching metal. As they would see Vlad the Impaler, also known as the Lancer of Ebony, as he would say this. So, we finally meet my master's allies. It's nice to finally meet you. I am the Lancer of Ebony, but you may call me the Lord. As he would say that with his somewhat angry face. Or more like insane face. As one of them would say this. Holy! Said, a somewhat, surprised, wait for a second. Specifically, Walter would just, be surprised as he would say this. So we finally meet up again, Sir Walter, he would say. As he would say this. Howdy, partner. Nice to meet you again. Oh, God. As one of them would say this. Wait, you met this guy? Said, Harmony. As he would say this. Yes, during my master's orientation. Back when the start of Beacon was happening. So, how was your days here? I hope you're treating my master well, you would say. As one of them would say this, specifically Weiss. We've been doing well, and I've been clearly, working with, your... Wait for a second. As after saying that, Walter would say this. Anyway, anybody else, as before you can say anything else, a person would arrive. Being that of our girl, aka Francis Drake, as she would say this. It's finally time for me to debut myself, she would say. The name's the Bride of Crimson. Nice to finally meet you all, she would say. As one of them would say this. Dang, said, a somewhat surprised Yang. As she would say this. Oh, nice to meet you, she would say. As one of them would say this. So, are you some sort of pirate? Said it's a somewhat, reluctant, not really reluctant, but more like, interested, Harmony. As she would say this. Well, I am. But more or less, I prefer to call myself a privateer, as you call. Sorry about that, wait for a second, As after saying that, Harmony would say this. Okay then. Anyway, is there... Wait. What about that big... As before they can say anything else, a chill would be run down their spines as they would see Ivan the Terrible, as he would say this. So, we finally meet my master's friends. I am the Rider of Ebony, but you may call me the Tsar, he would say, as he would say with a booming voice, as he would say this. Hope you're ready, because any of you tries to betray my master, and your lives shall be extinguished. And so, after that, this is where I'm going to be ending off this episode. I'm really sorry, but unfortunately, this is the time limit right now. because, you know, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!